Hello everybody, hope all of you are well and Subho Vijaya to all of you, and always try to maintain 6 feet distance in public places. Use mask whenever you are in outside of your home, okay, and frequently wash your hands with soap water or hand sanitizer, okay, so that we can win the fight against COVID-19. Hope you can remember my words. Okay. Now today I'll discuss the answers of your half yearly examinations. Okay. Your first question was choose the correct answer from the options given below. Your first question, which of the following has the highest atomic size? Options are given that fluorine, bromine, iodine. Okay. So definitely your answer will be the highest atomic size iodine. So down the group, number of cell increases as well as the size will increase. Your next question, which among the following has the lowest ionization energy? Here options are given hydrogen, option A is hydrogen, then helium, then lithium, then chlorine. Definitely hydrogen, helium, chlorine all are non-metals. Metal is only lithium. Lithium will be the lowest ionization energy or ionization potential. Okay. Which of the following is a common characteristics of a covalent compound? Generally, covalent compound consists of molecules. Okay, here options are given that high melting point, B is consisting of molecules, C is always soluble in water, D conducts electricity. So your answer will be the D consists of molecules. Consist of molecules. Next question, which molecule is formed by sharing of electrons? Options are given that magnesium oxide is a ionic compound, barium chloride is a ionic compound, definitely there will be transfer of electron. Methane is given, methane is a covalent compound, definitely there will be sharing of electron. The last option D is given Na2. So answer will be the C, methane. Next question is pH of human blood is dash acidic, neutral, slightly alkaline, strongly acidic. We know that pH of human blood is 7.4. So definitely it will be slightly alkaline. It is greater than 7, it will be slightly alkaline. Option C will be your answer. The compound can form acid salt is HCl, CH3COOH, H2SO4 and HBr. Definitely your answer will be option C, concentrated sulfuric acid, because HCl acetic acid and HBr all are monobasic acid containing one replaceable hydrogen. They cannot form acid salt, as sulfuric acid contain two replaceable hydrogen atom. It replaces one hydrogen till there will be one hydrogen left, like NHSO4. So that is why H2SO4 can form acid salt. So your answer will be option C. The empirical formula of glucose is, so glucose we know that C6H12O6. So carbon is to hydrogen is to oxygen will be 6 is to 12 is to 6. That is 1 is to 2 is to 1. So formula will be CH2O. So definitely the empirical formula options are given that C6H12O6, C12H22O11, option C is given CH2 and option D is given CHO. So your answer will be CH2. Next, a chloride which forms a precipitate that is soluble in excess ammonium hydroxide. Options are given calcium chloride, ferrous chloride, option C is ferric chloride and option D is copper sulfate. Okay, so copper sulfate will be the answer, because when you are adding ammonium hydroxide to copper sulfate, there is the formation of pale blue PPT of copper hydroxide. If you add excess ammonium hydroxide, then there will be the water soluble complex salts, state time and copper hydroxide. Okay, so your option D, that means copper sulfate, will be the correct answer. Next question is given, the aims of fountain experiment is to prove that HCl turns blue litmus red, HCl is denser than air, HCl is highly soluble in water, and HCl fumes in moist air. So your answer will be HCl is highly soluble in water. Okay, this is our main target in the fountain experiment, to prove that HCl gas is highly soluble in water. Next question is given that when dilute sulfuric acid reacts with iron sulfide, the gas evolved, definitely it will be hydrogen sulfide having rotten smell. Option A will be the correct answer. Other options are given sulfur dioxide, vapor of H2SO. So option A will be the correct, H2S. Next type of question was given that fill in the blanks with appropriate words from those given in brackets at the end of each sentence. Concentrated sulfuric acid oxidizes carbon to carbon dioxide gas. Okay, so your answer will be oxidizes. Concentrated sulfuric acid dash carbon to carbon dioxide gas. Your answer will be oxidizes carbon to carbon dioxide gas. In the laboratory, nitric acid is obtained by distillating a mixture of, you can write sodium nitrate or potassium nitrate with concentrated sulfuric acid. So answer will be potassium nitrate or sodium nitrate. Okay, NaNO3 or KNO3. The drying agent used for hydrogen chloride gas. Generally, here we are using in the laboratory preparation of hydrogen chloride gas, we have concentrated sulfuric acid. So you have to write concentrated. If you write only sulfuric acid, that is the wrong answer. You have to write concentrated sulfuric acid. Next is given vapor density of carbon dioxide is, carbon dioxide molecule, the molecular weight will be the 44. So we know that M is equal to 2D. So vapor density is equal to molecular weight by 2, that is 44 by 2, that will be 22. When a metallic oxide is dissolved in water, the solution formed has a high concentration of, you have to write that, hydronium ions. Okay, the basicity of acetic acid is dash, it will be 1. Because acetic acid has 4 hydrogens, but only 1 attached to the carboxylic group. Okay, that oxygen atom. Okay, that will be replaceable. That is why the acetic acid, okay, basicity will be 1. Next question is given, covalent compounds have dash boiling points. Generally, we know that in case of covalent compounds, the type of force will be weak van der Waals force. Okay, so weak van der Waals force means the boiling point will be low. Okay, but in case of ionic compound, it will be high because strong electrostatic force of attraction is present. So your answer will be the low. Okay, coordinate bond is present in dash ion. Okay, so you have to write that ammonium ion. Don't write ammonia. Always write ammonium ion. Okay, or coordinate bond you can write in hydronium ion also it is present. If an element has a low ionization energy, then it is likely to be metallic or non-metallic. Low ionization potential means it can easily release the electron and forming the positive charge. Okay, so definitely it will be the metallic. Okay, the electronegativity of iodine is dash than that of chlorine. So electronegativity of iodine will be definitely less, okay, than that of chlorine, because from chlorine to bromine to iodine, electronegativity decreases down the group. So in this way, we have also completed the question number 2, that is the fill in the blanks type of question. Next there is a short answer type of question. Answer the following questions in brief. First question is given, the metal of group 2 from top to bottom are beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium. State the common feature in the electronic configuration of all these elements. Okay, definitely they have the same outer electronic or valence electron. All have the 2 valence electron. Okay, that is the similarity. Okay, the common feature in the electronic configuration. That will be your answer. Define atomic radius. Okay, so you have to write the distance between the nucleus of an atom to the outermost shell. Okay, where valence electrons are present. That distance is called atomic radius. It is generally measured in angstrom unit. Okay, or picometer. Next is the state all the type of bonding present in hydronium ion. So if we draw the hydronium ion, then you can easily understand all type of bonding you have to show. this is the hydronium ion. So here these two are covalent and this one is the coordinate. So you have to write covalent bond and coordinate bond is present. You can understand? Okay. Next question, that why carbon tetrachloride does not conduct electricity. So for conducting electricity, free ions required. Carbon tetrachloride is a covalent compound. Okay, it will not generate free ions. Okay, so that is why absence of free ions. Okay, it will not conduct electricity. Next question, how many lone pair of electrons are present in methyl chloride molecule? So if you draw the structure, then you can easily understand methyl chloride. So here you have to satisfy the octet in each case. So in chlorine, how many lone pair of electron is there? Definitely it will be 3 lone pair of electron is there. So answer will be the 3 lone pair of electrons. What is the universal indicator? Universal indicator is a mixture of dyes that give definite color changes over wide range of pH. Okay. A color chart is already given in your book. You will check. Okay. When it is highly acidic, then it will be deep red, and when it is highly basic, then it will be the deep blue. Okay. Next is the right definition of normal salt. So here you have to write that salts which do not contain any ionizable or replaceable hydrogen or hydroxyl. Okay. Then they are called normal salt. In case of acid salt, there will be replaceable hydrogen atom, and in case of basic salt there will be replaceable OH group. So that is why in case of normal salt you have to write that the salts which do not contain any ionizable or replaceable hydrogen, that means hydronium ion or hydroxyl ions in their molecules, are known as normal salts. You can tell example also like sodium sulfate, like sodium chloride. These are the normal salts. Next, what is the basic difference between the concentrated and dilute acid? A acid is called concentrated when there is high percentage of hydronium ion in aqueous solution. Okay, then it is called concentrated. If there is low percentage of hydronium ion, then it is called dilute. Whenever you will add concentrated acid to the water, then we can prepare dilute acid solution. So in case of concentrated acid solution, there will be higher concentration of hydronium ion. In case of dilute solution, there will be lower concentration of hydronium ion. Why calcium ions have no visible reactions, even the addition of excess ammonium hydroxides? This is because ammonium hydroxide is a weak base and the concentration of OH minus ions from the ionization of NH4OH is so low that it cannot precipitate the hydroxide of calcium. Okay. Next question is given, state one relevant observation for the action of sodium hydroxide solution on ferrous sulfate solution. Whenever you will add sodium hydroxide to ferrous salt solution, definitely there will be formation of ferrous hydroxide that will form a dirty green purity. Next question is numerical. In case of numerical, if your only the answer is correct, then I will give number. Okay. When there will be offline exam, then you have to show all the process. Okay. In main exam, you cannot write only the just only the answer. Okay. In every step there is marks. Okay. Your problem was a compound contains 87.5% by mass of nitrogen and 12.5% by mass of hydrogen. Determine the empirical formula of this compound. Okay. Here nitrogen is 14 and hydrogen is 1. Write only the answer. Okay. So first you have to make the table. First this write that element. Elements are given that one is hydrogen, another is nitrogen. Next one is the percentage composition. Hydrogen is given 12.5 and nitrogen is given 87.5. Next one is atomic weight. Atomic weight for hydrogen will be 1, this will be 14. Next one is the relative number of atoms. Relative number of atoms. Here you have to divide it by the atomic mass, okay, by atomic weight. 12.5 by 1, that will be 12.5, and here 87.5 divided by 14, that will be 6.25. Then you have to find out the simplest ratio. Simplest ratio. So simplest ratio will be 12.5 divided by 6.2, that will be 2, and 6.2 divided by 6.2. That will be the 1. So definitely the empirical formula will be formula of the compound is, that will be NH2. Okay. Next another numerical is given. So your answer will be NH2. If you write NH2, I will give you full marks. Next another question 12. An organic compound with vapor density is equal to 94, and its empirical formula CH2Br. Find the molecular formula. Okay, this carbon is equal to 12, hydrogen is equal to 1, and bromine is equal to 8. Now here we know that molecular formula is equal to N into empirical formula. So from here you can write that N is equal to molecular formula mass divided by empirical formula mass. So molecular formula mass, if you calculate, okay, here vapor density is supplied, so you can write 2 into vapor density divided by the empirical formula mass. You have to calculate CH2Br. Carbon is 12, 2 hydrogen 2, and bromine is 80. If you add, you will get 94. So divided by 94. So vapor density is also available 94. That is 2 into 94 divided by 94. 94 card 2. So from here, you can easily find out the molecular formula. So molecular formula is equal to 2 into the empirical formula CH2Br. So from here you will get C2H4Br2. That will be your correct answer. Okay. Your next question is given that how HCl gas is collected. So as it is 1.26 times heavier than air, so it will be collected by upward displacement of air. Next question is given that XIV 14. Why funnel arrangement is required for preparation of HCl acid from HCl gas? First of all, funnel arrangement is a one type of precaution also. It prevents the back suction. If we are not making this funnel arrangement properly, then water will back sucked, okay, and it will go to the main reaction mixture. There is concentrated surface, there will be explosion or accident. Okay, so to prevent back suction, funnel arrangement is required. As well as we can tell that it will provide a large surface area for better absorption of the HCl gas. Okay. Next question is given that what are the products when excess chlorine reacts with ammonia gas? There will be formation of yellow explosive liquid that is called NCl3. So ammonia will react with excess chlorine, then there will be formation of NCl3 plus triCl. Okay, NCl3 is an yellow explosive liquid. Okay. Next questions. Right use of Nessler reagent. Nessler reagent is K2HCl4 solution. So it will turn the ammonia gas, okay, to reddish brown or brown. Okay, so it will Nessler reagent is used to detect the ammonia gas. That you have to write. Next question is given why only glass apparatus is used in the laboratory preparation of nitric acid. Because only glass apparatus are inert towards the nitric acid. If you take rubber and cork, it will react, okay, with this nitric acid. So that is why generally in case of retort type of apparatus is used for laboratory preparation of nitric acid, and it is made of glass. Why iron is rendered passive with fuming nitric acid? Okay, when we'll take the iron piece, okay, and dip into the fuming nitric acid, first there will be formation of a oxide coating, and this oxide coating prevents further actions. That is why iron is rendered passive with fuming nitric acid. Next question is why concentrated sulfuric acid is diluted with adding acid to water and not water to acid. Okay, whenever we add acid, okay, to dilute water, then there will be no spurting out of acid. But we know that this is the exothermic process. If we take the concentrated acid at the bottom and if we add water, then water will directly go to the vapor state and there will be spurt out of acid and there will be chance of accidents. Okay, so generally during the dilution of the acid, okay, we have to add concentrated acid, okay, drop by drop in a large volume of water to avoid accident. Next question is given state 1 relevant observation for the action of concentrated sulfuric acid on hydrated copper sulfate. Okay, generally copper sulfate crystals are blue in color. Whenever we will add the concentrated sulfuric acid, it will absorb the moistures, okay, and it will form a white amorphous powder. Okay, so that will be your observation. So in this way we have finished the your answers of the half yearly exam. I hope that all of you will follow this video. Until if you have any doubt, you can ask me questions through my WhatsApp number, or you can send questions to your school coordinator. So today up to this, and next we have already started that organic chemistry. So next we will continue the organic chemistry chapter, and in your pre-annual unit test portion, okay, organic chemistry is full is there, and electrochemistry, electrolysis and metallurgy is there, and other chapters like chemical bondings, okay, mold concept is there, okay, and today up to this, thank you.